Welcome to the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show, where we make plant-based cooking easy. I'm Jill, and today we're making an Afghan eggplant dish called Borani Banjan.
Grab a plate, 'cause it's the all-free whole food plant-based cooking show.
Today's show is brought to you in part by Complement. As healthy as it is, did you know there are a handful of missing or hard-to-get nutrients from a plant-based diet? The latest research suggests that complementing your diet with a few specific vitamins, minerals, and omega-3s will help boost your energy and keep you thriving for the long term. That's why I take Complement Plus every day. Complement Plus contains the 8 critical nutrients in dosages optimized specifically for plant-based eaters. Plus, they're completely transparent about ingredient sourcing and third-party testing, publishing the results directly on their website. As a special discount for our viewers, just use the code WFPB15 at checkout to save 15% off of your order.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. We have a delicious meal for you today. This is probably a dish that may be a little bit unfamiliar to you, but it is so incredibly delicious. It is an eggplant dish, and it's from Afghanistan. A friend of ours, Fareed, hello Fareed, has been asking us to make an Afghan recipe forever, and I'm finally getting around to it. And this one happens to be amazing. So you're all gonna have to try this and let me know. So we are gonna start out. I have a pretty decent size eggplant here. This meal serves 2 to 3 people, and I already have my oven preheated to 400 degrees. So what we're gonna do first, I've already washed this. I'm gonna cut off the top, and then basically we're just making slices. So I always like to cut off just a teeny bit of the one side, or each side really, because that ends up being just mainly skin. So I like to cut it about, I don't know, between 1/4 of an inch and 1/2 inch thick. So you just cut it as many slices as that makes, cutting it that way. And I like to cut it this way. You can cut it in rounds too. That would be just fine, because this is going into a Dutch oven or like a casserole dish. And it gets completely covered up, so you don't even really see the slices themselves once they're cooked. So they don't even need to look really nice. All right, so I have just my baking tray here with a piece of parchment paper on it, and I'm just gonna lay them out on the parchment paper because we're gonna bake them. Typically this dish, they would fry all of the eggplant in oil, but I've found that that's not really necessary, and it tastes just as good by being baked, and it keeps it much healthier. So into the oven we go, and it's going to go in there for 20 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so the first thing we did, we had 3 cloves of garlic finely minced, and I put them in my pan with about 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. We just water saute them for just a few minutes just to get rid of some of the raw flavor of the garlic. And now we're gonna put in a tablespoon of tomato paste and 1 can of diced tomatoes. And we're gonna let that cook for about 5 minutes, just to cook off a little bit of that juice, and then we'll add the other ingredients. Hey, just a quick reminder here, our Kickstarter for our upcoming new cookbook, Plant-Based Cooking Made Easy Volume 2, is now live, and we would love for you to join us to get your copy. The cookbook has 101 more of our tried and true recipes, each with a full color photo and a scannable QR code linking to a video of me making the recipe here on the show. We are offering exclusive Kickstarter bundles and the rare and limited opportunity to have your name, picture, and plant-based success story appear in the cookbook. The Kickstarter is the place to order your copy, so we invite you to follow the link in the description to back this project and help us bring this cookbook to life. Okay, let's get back to the show. All right, here we go. If you want to come in and take a look to see what consistency it is before we add our other ingredients, This is already smelling amazing. All of that garlic. Oh, I love garlic. Okay, so now we're putting in, I have a half teaspoon of turmeric and a half teaspoon of cracked pepper, 1 teaspoon of Bragg's liquid aminos, or you could use a low sodium soy sauce or tamari. And then we have a half a cup of water. And we're gonna let this cook down for another 10 minutes. And then by that time, our eggplant should be ready and we'll be able to start assembling. All right, now that our sauce is done and our eggplants are done baking, we get to start layering. So I like to put just a little bit of sauce in the bottom first, and that kind of prevents the eggplant from sticking. It doesn't normally stick, but I like to do that just in case, because you don't want to miss any of that goodness when you're scooping it out. And then we just take the eggplant and you just layer it. Whatever will fit in the bottom layer, you just fill that layer. Put a scoop of tomato sauce on top and smear it around. Make sure you get the whole eggplant covered. And then we put another layer. Ooh, those are still very, very hot. And then more sauce. Oops, slopping it all over the place. And this is just I believe it's a 3-quart casserole dish, but it's a little bit bigger than what you need. And you could just do this in like a brownie pan or something, but it really needs to be covered because it gets really hot and it just cooks it down really well. I think if it didn't have a lid on it, it would dry out. Okay, one more layer. And the rest of the sauce. Okay, and smooth that around. Just make sure all that eggplant is covered. Okay, and our oven is still on 400 degrees. We're gonna put the lid on and we're gonna bake it for 35 minutes. And then I'll show you how to make the delicious sauce that's gonna go on the top. While we're waiting for that, I'd like to share with you some background on our show. The Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show is crowd-funded, which means these free weekly recipe videos, along with our entire catalog of recipes on our website, plantbasedcookingshow.com, and our new Plant-Based Cooking Made Easy cookbook are all made possible in part by the generous patronage of our supporting members. By becoming a supporting member, you gain access to great member perks like monthly product giveaways, free downloads of our ebooks, and access to our in-depth courses, including our 28 Days Plant-Based Made Easy course, where we offer a step-by-step guide to making the switch to a fully plant-based diet. We create this show for the hundreds of thousands of viewers just like you who tune in each month from all over the world to make it easy for everyone to live a plant-based lifestyle. So if you love our content, please join us on our mission and become a supporting member today by following the link in the description. Okay, let's get back to the show. Okay guys, the eggplant is done. If you want to come take a look at this. Oh wow. The smells. Oh, smells incredible. Okay, so now let's make this creamy little sauce that's going to go on top. Typically this would be more like a sour cream or yogurt type of sauce that's going to go on there, but we are going to make it whole food plant-based, so we're going to make it out of cashews. So this is a 1/4 of a cup of cashews, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of white wine vinegar, and 1/3 of a cup of water. And you could put a little bit more garlic in here if you wanted to, but I feel like there's enough garlic in here that you get plenty of garlic flavor from that. We just want the creamy flavor from this. So now we're just gonna blend this until those cashews are completely pulverized. All right, there we go. This is a little bit watery looking, but it's okay because all of that creaminess is just gonna dissolve back into there. It's so delicious. So now you just pour it over there, just drizzle it over. Oh my goodness. My mouth is watering. That looks so delicious. And then the last thing, I think this is the most essential part of this dish. This is some chopped mint. I happen to have some mint growing in my garden, which I would highly suggest, if you like mint, to just plant. If you have anywhere, even just a pot out on your balcony, plant some mint. It grows super easy and it just grows very prolifically, very easily, compared to how much it costs to get mint in the grocery store. So you could have this on hand all the time. The important part I wanted to say about it though is when you have a dish like this and it's got so much garlic in it, this adds it lifts the dish and it works as a digestive aid to help with possibly gas that's produced from the garlic. So we're just going to sprinkle that over this. And trust me, when you taste it, you'll know how important this mint is. That's it. Super simple. It's a great side dish or even a main dish if you're going to do it that way. But I'm going to grab a plate and a fork and I'll meet you at the table for a taste. Ooh, my favorite time. Let's go in for a taste. The house just smells so good right now with all of this scent. Oh wow, look at that. Okay. Ooh, this is still very, very hot, so hopefully I don't scald myself. That is so creamy. The eggplant just melts in your mouth. And then you get some of the creaminess from the sauce and that mint. It is perfect. You are going to love this. So be sure to give this video a like, and I'll see you next week for another great recipe.